Welcome to Vette Vlogs. I'm Jax, as usual. Let me just give you a breakdown about how this weekend has gone in terms of filming stuff so far. This is the third time that I have tried to film anything. You know, for all I know, it's not gonna work out this time either. Something will happen, a meteor will strike me, knock off my sound. Basically, day one, Saturday, we had great weather. It was sunny and warm, looking good. The temperature was nice, and I thought, what a perfect day to record some footage. So I got everything ready, got out to the car, set up the cameras, turned them on, turned on the mic, which I've like triple checked because that was the second thing that went wrong. Turned on the mic, the battery in the car was dead. So Corvette no go. I trickle charged the battery overnight, it's fine now, and I turned them on today. Both cameras that are filming right now, dead, because I didn't turn them off the day before. I'm an idiot. I was very frustrated, grabbed my third GoPro, turned it on, and started recording, only to find out after filming everything, no sound. My audio recorder was not working. I'm not really sure if I didn't press the button hard enough or something lame like that, but I keep it here. See, Zoom audio, highly recommend it. I keep it here, close by. I'm looking at it now. It is recording. Seriously, it's taken this many times to get anything. It's very frustrating. So what we're gonna talk about today anyway, the first time. What I wanted to talk about was the lists that have been coming out lately of 10 things I hate about my whatever, fill in the blank here. Some people have been making lists about motorcycles, some people have been making lists about cars. I'm sure other lists exist in the fashion world or something like that. Or if you do watch Mojo, they have lists of everything. But I saw Downshift83 had made a list of 10 things he hates about his different bikes, and Motonosity did that. And then I saw one somebody with a Corvette Z06 did recently. So I thought, I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon, because that's what you do when you make YouTube videos. You jump on the bandwagon and you do what's already been done 45 times, just one more time, and hope that people actually watch yours. So I decided to do a list of 10 things I hate about my 2002 C5 Corvette base model, lightly modified, and see what kind of reaction it gets. Here's my list of 10 things. Number one, that guy was totally not paying attention. Number one, anybody who has a C5 Corvette would immediately complain, first and foremost, about the interior. The interior is horrible, and I mean that in every sense of the word, in a Tonka toy, plastic, Lego kind of way. What GM was thinking when they bestowed this car with this interior, I have no idea. It is terrible. I had a 96 Firebird when I was younger. That car had an awful plastic interior. This car's interior is almost exactly the same, despite the fact that it cost 3 times as much as that car when it was new, or give or take, but way too much. So the interior is awful. The seats are awful in the interior. If you have standard or the sport seats, the sport seats bolsters are like 0.1 of a millimeter more than these stock seats. The interior is pretty terrible. I think the grade of the plastic and all that is just embarrassingly bad for a car that cost $40-something thousand when it was new in 2002. I do not complain about the space in the interior. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I'm almost 6.5 feet tall. I'm a fairly tall guy, and I've got room to spare in here, which is fantastic. I've got ample legroom, I've got ample headroom. The C6 is much the same. I've driven a couple C6s. It's a little snugger, but there's a decent amount of room. The C7, however, the C7 is starting to get a little bit snug. I beg you, GM, please do not make it any smaller on the inside, because if I can't operate the clutch pedal, it's a deal breaker for me. I'm not gonna get a Corvette or a sports car that has a automatic transmission. I recommend nobody get a sports car like a Corvette with an automatic transmission, unless of course that you don't have the use of your left leg for some reason, knee problems, you're in a war, whatever. This is a Corvette. It's supposed to have a stick. I understand that DSG gearboxes are fast, they're pretty cool. If I had a Ferrari or a McLaren, I probably wouldn't mind because it's like a race car. But for around the town, sporty driving, mountain driving, things like that, a good old-fashioned manual is where it's at. That's my biggest gripe about the C5 Corvette, the interior. The rest of the list was hard to come by. Number 2, I hate how much better this car is than most other cars. It's really not fair. For the same money, for a used car, you could get like, you know, a really nice Camry or Accord or something. This car is way better than that. It's way faster. It goes around corners better. It looks better. It sounds better. It's just better all around. It's almost absurd how good it is for the price. I don't think that's fair. I definitely would say that's a negative, that you're just getting too much value for your money. You should be a little disappointed whenever you spend this much money on a car of any kind. You know, there should be some disappointment. You should be conceding that, well, I'm not gonna get the stereo I wanted, or the ride I wanted, or the space I wanted. You know, you should get it all. And aside from the plasticky interior, this car is fantastic. So it's too good. That's my number 2 gripe. Number 3, I hate how GM over-engineered the LS1 engine to be so awesome. The LS1 is a masterpiece. There's Chevy small block in general, but the LS series, starting with the LS1 that's in this car, 350 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque. It's just too good. They made it too awesome. The fact that you could get a supercharger or a turbocharger and slap it on there and generate 800 pounds of boost on stock internals and probably be fine, that's just ridiculous. They should have made these engines brake way easier. The LS1 is too good, in my opinion. That's gonna be my number 3. I hate how good the LS1 engine is. It makes so much power, it's fuel efficient, it's lightweight, and it's over-engineered to cope with all sorts of modifications. That's just ridiculous. It should brake more often. Number 3, I hate how the roof comes off and grants me instant access to fresh air and sunshine. If I wanted fresh air and sunshine, I would have bought a convertible. GM felt the need to bestow this awesome targa top on the Corvette that I can choose to take off whenever I want and enjoy the sunshine and fresh air on a day like this. It's it's almost beginning of February, and it's 65 degrees outside. If I wasn't filming a vlog, I could take the top off and cruise around with the wind in my hair, well, overcast, not really sun, but overcast in my face, and enjoy. That guy totally just pulled out into my lane. And I could enjoy a relaxing drive around these back roads. Why? If I wanted a top to come off, I would have bought a convertible. Why did GM feel the need to give me this amazing benefit that I didn't ask for? It's just so silly. Why would you do that to a car like a Corvette? I don't understand. What are we on, 4 now? Number four. The stock Goodyear run flat tires, they're pretty awful. They're harsh riding, very stiff sidewalled. They don't grip especially well, especially compared to Michelin Pilot Sports or even a really good Nitto Invo kind of tire. But I don't like how they're run flats. I mean, at any moment driving a sports car, you could get a flat tire. You could hear the pop, that was my flat tire impression. You could hear that sound and know you have a flat tire and know I am totally screwed. I'm gonna be spending the night in the car tonight. If I go up to the Dragon in this car, it should be an unspoken rule that if I get a flat tire, I'm spending the night in the car, whether I like it or not, and that teaches me respect. These run flat tires that could just take you home on a whim, or get you out of danger and prevent you from being stranded. Who needs that, really? It's why we're all wimps now. We need to toughen up, man. We need to learn some adversity. If your tire busts in a sports car, that's it, done deal. You're stuck. You gotta call AAA or Biff's tow truck, mom or dad, or AAA. I said AAA. You've gotta call somebody and they're gonna save you, and your car will get towed. It'll cost you $5 billion. Because you didn't have run flats, nor should you. So that would be my other complaint. I don't know. Number 5, 6. Are we on 6? Number 6. If we're on 6, I'm gonna pretend we're on 6. Number 6. I hate how red this car is. Why make a car like this a beautiful shade of red, like torch red? Why not make it gray? Is it really fair that someone can drive a Corvette and enjoy a car like a Corvette and shout to everybody via their paint job, I have a Corvette, I have a sports car, it seems gratuitous. It seems like too much. It seems like you could be satisfied with a lesser color. What about people who are colorblind? What about people like my dad? My dad is colorblind. It's not fair that he has to look at this car and wonder, how pretty is that car? I wish I could see the torch red. I wish I could revel in the glory of a sports car painted a bright, flashy color, but alas, I can't. All he sees is shades of gray. Not 50, just a few. I think that cars like this should be painted a nice shade of silver, gray, or, ooh, with the C5, they offered pewter. Now that is a color for a sports car. A nice, boring, yellowish, I left it out in the sun too long, rusted metal, wasted away pewter color. That's much better. It's unfair that this car looks as good as it does in red. It doesn't need to. It's just gilding the lily, as they say, which is a fancy term for too much. Too much. That would be like my 5th or 6th or whatever number we're on thing that I hate about this car. It's too colorful. It's too awesomely colorful. Just to review, interior sucks. I think we all agree. The car is too awesome for the money. Too much value. The engine is too fantastic. The roof coming off is too great. The handling, I don't even think I mentioned that. It handles really well for a car right out of the box. I mean, it's a little floaty and it's a little harsh with the run flats. It handles really well. And I don't think it deserves to handle that well, not for that money. The handling, the color, the run flat tires, all of these things. These are just awful things that I hate about this car. Number, whatever we're on. No. Well, there's the, I mean, if you're not careful, you could like pinch a finger in a door maybe. I guess you could do that on any car. No. What? Okay. Let's be honest. These lists are fun to make, but they're also dumb. 10 things I hate about something awesome. 10 things I hate about something that I enjoy doing. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Let's be serious. Be happy with what you have. Does this car have flaws? Absolutely. Are there modifications I hope to make to it in the not too distant future? Yes. The handling I would like to button down a little bit more to C5 Z06 levels. More power is always a good thing. You know, there's all kinds of things I could say I would like to fix. The interior, sadly, is not really something that you can fix, but I don't really care. I actually think it was a good move. GM spent their money wisely. The powertrain for the Corvette, starting with the LS1 motor in the C5 model, is stunning. It is absolutely stunning. What you can do to these engines, the power you can extract from them, and the minimal cost, now I'm being, relatively speaking here, but the minimal cost involved in modifying one of these engines to make ungodly sums of horsepower is nothing short of a miracle. Why do you think LS engines are used in everything ever? You don't see people rushing to the Ford dealer going, can I get an engine that's not as good as an LS? I'm really dying for an engine that's not as good as an LS. There are no V8 engines that are not as good as LS engines. You would have to go all the way up to something made in Maranello, maybe, to not be as good as an LS. And I would argue that that's not really the case. I mean, yes, it's amazing engineering what they put into Ferraris. However, GM does all this at a price point that is just ridiculous. It's just unbelievable. And the modifications you can make to it, you can't go and modify a Ferrari engine for 10 grand and make like 1,000 horsepower. You just can't. But you can an LS, which is an achievement of its own. So be happy with what you have, guys. Cars, motorcycles, whatever it is. If it's awesome in its own way. You bought it because it's awesome in its own way. Enjoy it. Yes, the flaws are there, but they're flawed in a way that makes us love them even more. So if you have something that's awesome, love it for what it is. If you don't have something that's awesome, I suggest you go get something that's awesome, because everyone needs a little more awesome in their lives. It's good to have a goal. You know what I'm saying? So take these lists with a grain of salt. I hope you certainly didn't take this one too seriously, because if you know me at all, you know that I'm an absolute sucker for Corvettes. I love them. This one is awesome. This one has been good to me. So enjoy what you got, all right? This is Jax and Vette Vlogs. I'll catch you next time. Peace.